Hello, everybody. Can you wave at the back to make sure you can hear me? Hey? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so here we are for Melanie and Lewis's wedding day. I'm the father of the bride. The proud father. Doesn't she look amazing? But before we start the official speech, I'm going to tell you a story. When I was a young Marine in Malta many years ago, back in 1975, I was walking along and I seen this gypsy. She was selling paperweights, would you believe? And I seen this paperweight, and it was a paperweight of a seahorse. And I said, "How much is this seahorse?" And she said, "It's going to be too much, you can't afford it." I said, "Well, I'm a young Marine, maybe I can." She said, "You can't. It's a very special seahorse." I said, "Okay then." She said, "But I'll tell you what, I'll give you this seahorse, providing you do one thing. You have to believe in the seahorse. And you've got to go back to the UK, give it to somebody you love, and then whichever child gets married first, you've got to believe in this seahorse and then predict the future." I said, "Okay then." So I got the seahorse. The original one, bought in Malta in 75, and it has been stored by my father ever since. And he gave it to me this morning. He said, "Here you are, son." So, there's the page. He said, "But amazingly, you have to believe in what the gypsy said." So, to make me believe in what the gypsy said, because unless we don't believe it, it won't predict anything. And seahorses, as you know, speak to the spirits. Not a lot of people know that. So, after 3, I want Melanie and Lewis to say, "I believe." 1, 2, 3.
I believe.
Didn't say anything. Didn't say anything. Okay, can I have the family of Melanie and Lewis to stand up, please? Dilly?
Dilly up. Yeah, up.
And the aunties and the uncles.
All of you.
Hang on. No, we're going to say, "I believe." No, I can't hear anything. Maybe the gypsy was telling me a lie. Can everybody stand up, please? Can everybody really stand up? Yeah.
Thanks.
Can everybody say, "I believe"?
I believe.
Okay, you can sit down now. Okay. Okay. Can you keep quiet and try listen to the seahorse? Will the seahorse speak to me? It is.
Oh.
Just give me a prediction. The first prediction is that Lewis and Melanie will have a wonderful life together in Devon.
Yay.
They will live happily ever after and enjoy every moment. If they can kiss every now and again.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to say something else. He's making another prediction. But who is this person? He said he's a very famous person from Tavistock. Tavistock in Devon. Local boy. Sir Francis Drake. Would you believe that? He won the Spanish Armada and fought the Spanish and beat them back in the 15th century in the English Channel. True story. What's your next prediction? England's going to beat Spain. Anyway, now to the more important things in life. Hello. Is that better? Move forward. Better? Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
This is where I need the paper. You see, the other one's ad-libbed, as you can tell. I would like the opportunity to thank everyone for coming to share this very special day of Melanie and Lewis.
Yay.
I know many of you travelled lots of miles to get here, along the M5, many of you. So once again, a big thank you. That's okay. So where to start? Melanie was born in Tavistock. How spooky is that? She was born in Tavistock Hospital, so she's very much a proud Devon girl, and it's only right that this is where she should be married. A fine choice of counties where the sun always shines and the weather is kind. Mel found it difficult to come into this world. She decided in the womb that it was nice and warm, a place to be, and refused to come out. Carol, who's somewhere down there, tried to push it as much as she tried to push, Mel would scramble back in. Trying to push her out, poor Carol eventually ended up with 2 black eyes, which took a week or 2 to go back to normal, but Mel had arrived. She was always full of fun, always the first to smile, and was so happy, the same woman she is now.
Yeah.
Hard-working, how loving and how caring she is. Next page. Don't worry, they're not all written. I am very, very proud of her for all the reasons mentioned. Carol, Mel, mother, and Dilly, her stepmother, have always been so caring and loving, bringing her up through the years, and from the bottom of my heart, how much this meant to me. I helped when I could to teach the things in life to survive, and when I could, I helped them to survive. And when I was living in Poole, Dilly, my second long-suffering wife, decided we would go to the local beach and I would teach Jackie and Mel to windsurf. Dilly left us on the beach to go to work in the ambulance service and would return 8 hours later. The weather changed, the wind and rain came, and we were freezing to death on an open expanse of sand. We had a couple of shovels and a windsurf and not much else, with no way to return home. The only way to survive was to dig a large hole and get in it, and cover the hole with a sail and wait it out. Dilly returned some hours later to find us peering out, both Jackie, Mel and me, shivering but alive. There's always been a way to survive, and to survive the difficulties if you have the right mindset. Mel has done this and survived and has become a page. Wonderful mother and person who looks at the positive things in life and always has a plan to eliminate the negative things, as I believe she has a good job to do that. I would also like to mention more things, but I'm aware that time is getting on and I need to stand down. Lewis. I would now formally like to welcome Lewis into the family, and to help in this matter, I have become a Watford football supporter. And can't wait to go and see our first game together.
Yay!
I know that since they have been together, how much fitter and take on many challenges together, from running marathons, open water and swimming, and other such things, all of which have helped their children to become competitive, strong and determined. Well done, everybody. A good thing to lead and set an example by. I'd also like to welcome Lewis's family, Lewis's father, John. Where's John? You can stand up, please, so people can see where you are. There he is. Sister Sophie. Where is Sophie? Stand up, Sophie, come on. And Daisy. Stand up, Daisy, you can't get away with it. And brother Max. And of course, Lewis's son, Alex. Unfortunately, Linda, Lucy's mother, isn't with us today, but I'm sure she's looking down from above and smiling proudly at all of the family. Next page. Okay, a few things I've learned from others, and that I should pass on to Mel and Lewis. Always respect the other person, never criticise, don't forget to support each other through thick and thin. And the last thing is friendship lasts longer than passion. Without friendship, relationships fail. And as you get older, you rely on the friendship that you have with each other because that's the one that truly lasts forever. So can we please be upstanding for a speech? And the speech obviously is to Lewis and Mel Lew.
I want to begin by saying thank you to everyone who's made the effort to come down and celebrate the marriage of my dad and mum.
Yay.
Although for some of you it might be your second like mine. A key memory to when I was first introduced to Mel was the plank challenges in lockdown. With all 6 of us where me and my dad would always win. Little did I know they had become my family forever. Although that was the first interaction I had with the Turner family, I found out my dad was going to make it official in the summer of 2020 on the way back from Safeties and Steves. He asked me if I was okay with him going out with Mel. Of course I said yes with no hesitation. But despite the brief moments I knew her for, I could tell she was very loving and made my dad the happiest I've seen in a while. Instantly I noticed the change in my dad as he was more fulfilled with love due to the influence of Mel and the kids. Also, he began not only taking a piss out of me, but taking a piss out of me. One of my favourite memories as a newfound family was our first ever holiday together to Turkey. Despite the initial letdown on the first day, it brought us closer together in the end. And as I grew closer to Jacob as I shared a room with him, Lily as I trapped her around in the pool, and Ruby as I played catch with the inflatable pool. From that moment, I could feel them becoming my forever siblings. As a family, we would go on late night walks, looking at shoes which are obviously fake. And then Jacob picked the most basic black Air Forces, although they're similar to the original package, just not real. Once I found out about the engagement, I can remember when my dad asked me if he can marry Mel. Of course I said yes, as it brought happiness to me, as I knew Mel made my dad and I the happiest we had been in a while. And I could begin to envision the future of Mel as a big part of my family. I was thrilled for my dad as now he gets to spend the rest of his life with his caring, courageous and new wife.
So we'll start by crying already, shall we? First time in about 25 years. Oh, God. It was good that earlier, wasn't it? It went well. Yeah. I don't think a wedding could be summed up more by us than the registrar not turning up. Where's Francesco? Up he gets on. You've got another speech. Honestly, amazing. You saved the day. I promised I wouldn't cry, but that's definitely not going to happen. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming and welcome to the inaugural Mel Fest. This has never been a wedding from any stage of this. This has always been Mel's excuse to throw a festival and for me to pay. So you're welcome. The weather didn't quite play ball, but there we are. So this took nearly 18 months of planning, and I hope you've all had a wonderful time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
first of all, I'd like to start with an early toast, although I've left my drink. To the reason we're all here, the star of the show, and doesn't she own that Billy? To Melanie Turner Bolter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex, for a wonderful Best Man speech and for making it clear you're my son. I'm sure a few of you wondered why I had a 16-year-old best man who's also my best friend. I mean, I do, but he is my son and not someone I met online. There's a lot of people sitting in front of me. I know about 10% of you. I'd like to think this shows how popular you are, but I think in reality it shows how many times you've all been married. For those who have met me, I think you all know how happy I am. That's because of Melanie. Nothing can change the past or devalue the life we've lived, but it doesn't mean we can't embrace the life we have and acknowledge the impact it's had. To be loved for who you are and what faults you have is a rare commodity, but one I urge you all to seek. It will bring you a certain peace and joy, and you will never find it in any other way. To pair that with exquisite beauty makes me realise I won the lottery in life.
Yes, you have.
Thank you. That's good, got heckling. I genuinely think I'm the luckiest man on the planet. Mel knows I don't do luck, but in this case I'm going to let it pass. It's pretty nerve-wracking standing in front of this many people doing a groom speech, but luckily for me, not my first time. Thank you to everyone who's part of the army of people who've got this wedding arranged. There is far too many of you to mention individually, but please know how incredibly grateful we are, and we're more than aware that without you this would not have been a day that we wanted. If everyone can please take a favour on their way out in the form of sunflower seeds, that would be amazing. There's also a photo frame up at the marquee, and on your way out is some cards that have QR codes on that you can upload photos for us. And now the sad bit. For those who aren't here, so if we can raise a toast. I miss my mum every day. She would have been very proud of where I am and how Alex has turned out. This makes me incredibly happy, but also forever sad. My granddad also would have been so happy here, smiling and telling stories in his unique way that I try to emulate. Truly my idol, and if I could be half the parent husband he was, then I would have left a positive mark in this world. To Mel's stepdad Pete, a man who influenced the love of my life in a way I could only dream of. The kind and wonderful stories Melanie and Jackie have told me inspire me to be the kind of stepdad he was. And if I manage to have the kind of impact, then I know I've truly fulfilled this new role. My nan, who is alive, but is too poorly to be here and cursing us that we haven't dragged her, but she's not here, so she's part of this toast as well. So if we can raise our glasses to those. Anyway, that's enough of the ghost stories. I'd like to admit now that you're actually all here under false pretences. It might be possible that the wedding was not booked properly and this is actually a bit of a sham wedding. Who actually knows? Well, we know. So feel free to join us on the 20th of August for the real one. But for now, thanks for coming and enjoy some fish and chips. Little mental note for those who are going to get married, it's at least 29 days before the wedding you book, not after 29 days. We've got a band playing in here later. In between those breaks, it's our playlist. It's obviously taken ages to put together. If you're unsure who chose the music, there's a simple formula for it.
Yes, babe.
Anything that is a classic band is me. Or if you go, is that Westlife? That is also me. Anything that you would listen to on the Waltzers or on a Tyson Fury walkout is Mel. So, to close this out and let us all have a drink and have something to eat, I'm going to go back to my beginnings. I get asked a lot when I knew Melanie was the one for me and that I loved her unconditionally. For me, it was pretty simple. I genuinely don't have a doubt very early on that I'd be relocating down here to Devon and changing my entire life. But the key point was when in a conversation she admitted to finding Mrs. Brown Boys and Miranda funny. If you can work through that, you know we're going to be okay. For the ladies who went to Portugal, there's another reason I think Mel told you, but you can keep that to yourselves. The other question I get asked a lot is, do you wish you'd met Mel earlier? That's a really easy one to answer, and the answer is no. I was never ever ready to love Mel in the way that she deserves. Life has shaped me into the person who is now capable of loving correctly and with all my heart, and the very minimum that Mel will always get from me. On one of our first dates, I described Melanie as a caged bird and how unfair it was on the world didn't get to see the potential that I always saw and promised I would set her free. I'd like to think I delivered on that promise the last 4 years, and we are truly seeing what a vibrant and infectious personality was kept from us. Truly one of the kindest souls on the planet. So Melanie, thank you. Thank you for being you, for allowing me to be me, for loving me in a way that makes me feel I'm enough, for accepting Alex like he's your own, and trusting me to be a part of Jacob, Lily and Ruby's lives, for making every single person who is around you a better person. You will never see what we see, the beauty inside and out. You make the world smile. For that, I'll be forever grateful and pinch myself every day that you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with me. So one last toast. To PMPP, my ride and die, to the bowl turners.
Yeah.
Get some food.